Hi, it's Maya here. It's time for another BookTube SFF Babbles video, and this week's topic is shortlist plans. But first I want to say hi to all my new subscribers. I just recently passed 300 subscribers thanks to people who just suggested my channel a couple of weeks ago in another BookTube SFF Babbles video where people suggested some science fiction and fantasy readers channels and blogs. So you know who you are. Thank you for mentioning me, and hello new people. Sorry if I look tired. It's because I am. I just came from the bus, fresh off a bus trip of about 4 hours because I was visiting family over the Easter, and I made the great decision to film this video right away. So let's get on to this week's topic, and the topic is shortlist plans. Which books I have read since the event started and what did I think of them, and also what did I nominate that didn't make the shortlist that I'd like people to read. So let's first talk about the books that I have read since the shortlist was published. I've read 2 of the graphic work category nominees, which means I've finally read all 4 of the nominees because I had read Nimona and Wicked and Divine Volume 2 Fandemonium before the start of the awards, and now I've read Descender Volume 1, Tin Stars, and Saga Volume 5. Descender Volume 1 was okay for me. I would give it a 3.5 stars. It's a science fiction comic about a universe where androids have been outlawed, and there's this one young robot boy that comes back to himself and finds out he is a pretty important android. It also features a couple of human and alien characters. One of the humans is the scientist who built and came up with the build of the young boy android. Then there's also a threat on the universe and on humankind and alien kind from these huge androids that kill people and are bigger than planets. And the young robot boy might have a clue as to how to defeat these huge robots. So like I said, I found it fine. It wasn't a huge hit for me. There's nothing bad that I can say about it as such. It just wasn't for me, I guess. My favorite issue was issue number 2, in which young android is hunted by bounty hunters who are after all sorts of robots. And it also goes back and shows the memories of the young android boy and what sort of life he has lived before that. And I thought that was a really great issue, but the rest of them weren't on that level for me. The ending was quite interesting, and I might pick up volume 2 when it comes out, but I'm not sure. It won't be a priority for me. The art was a watercolor style, which makes it stand out from other comics from the United States. At times it looked beautiful, but at times it looked quite unfinished. I think issue 4 was the one where perhaps the artist was rushed for time, but I've also seen better watercolor art in other comics. I find that in European comics there's more of a focus on traditional coloring than in the comics from the US, especially from the big publishers. So I think this stands apart from a lot of US comics, but not that much from comics from other countries. But I've seen that a lot of people really love the art. For me, it was again okay. In some issues it was better than in other issues. Also, some panel sequences were unclear, and I didn't care for the lettering style. I might continue with the series or I might not. Then I picked up Saga Volume 5 from the library. I have read all the other Saga volumes in the past, and I think I liked the 2nd and 3rd volumes the best, the 1st and 4th not that much, and I hope that I would have liked 5 better again, but it was on the same level as 4 for me. I think I'm losing interest in the series. I've never been that interested in the main couple. I've been interested in the side characters more, but also the side characters are losing a bit of their charm for me, and it feels a bit of same old. I don't really care that much anymore, especially because my favorite and a quite promising character is out of the action now, so it might be that I might not continue, or at least I'm not in a rush to do so. As I said, I've already read Nimona and the Wicked and the Divine before. I find Wicked and the Divine quite good on the writing level and great on the art level, which is why I will keep buying them. And I'm also pretty interested in some of the god characters, but not so much in the others. So by process of elimination, Nimona is my favorite from the graphic novel nominees. I really enjoyed that one. I like the quirky, cartoony art style, and I really liked all the characters. Nimona and Ballister and Golden Loin were all great characters for me, and I also really like the world mixing magic and science. So let's move on to the short story that I read. I read Binti by Nnedi Okorafor, and I quite enjoyed that one. I had read Lagoon by Okorafor before, And I have talked a bit more about this in my February wrap-up, I think. I will link it in the description and put something in the corner there. I liked Binti as a character. I thought the balance between keeping it short and showing us information about the world was good. And I like the theme of home and living your own culture and what you make of yourself after that. So I enjoyed reading it. The ending was perhaps a bit too tightly wrapped up, but I would really recommend it. So far I have read Midnight Hour and Binti from the short story nominees, and I have Perfect State by Brandon Sanderson left. So those are the nominees that I have read since the announcement of the shortlist. I am still planning to read Uprooted by Naomi Novik and Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I am first in line to get the fifth season from the library, and I own Uprooted. So those are the two novel nominees that I will be reading. And I will also read the Brandon Sanderson short story. As you can see, my goal is to read all the graphic novels, all the short story nominees, and then the two novel nominees that I just mentioned, and I don't think I have the time to get to the YA nominees. The other question for this week's Babble was, what did I nominate for the awards, and what I would like people to read from stuff that didn't get on the shortlist. I only nominated 2 graphic novels and a short story, and one of the graphic novels and the short story got into the shortlist, so the only one that didn't get to it that I would really like people to read is Gotham Academy Volume 1, Welcome to Gotham Academy. I've shown this comic trade paperback on my channel before. I really enjoyed it. It's by Becky Cloonan, Brendan Fletcher and Carl Kershaw. It tells of these kids in a school in Gotham. I really like school stories, and it's a lot of fun, and it doesn't require huge knowledge of the DC universe to read it. Then there was one book that I read after the nominations were closed that I would have definitely put on the list if I had read it before it closed. And that is The Trade of Baru Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. I would have put this on the best novel category. I gave it 5 stars. It's really, really good. It has political intrigue and it's a revenge story, and both of those things I really like. So that's all from me for now. Do you still have a lot of books that you haven't read and that you want to read before the award season closes? I know that the 2 books that I mentioned and the 1 short story is quite enough work for me to get read in this time. And have you read either Gotham Academy or The Trade of Baru Cormorant? What did you think of them? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you later.